Good morning, everybody. You are tuned to Computers 2K now on the Nissan Communications Network. I'm one of your hosts for the next couple of hours, along with Spence.
Yes, we are.
Good morning.
Good
And
morning.
Gal is here.
Good morning.
Good morning. Nick is here too, but he's doing something. Our number is 919-518-9773. Computers 2K voice on Skype.
I think he's outside putting plywood on his windows.
There he is. Good morning, Nick.
What, a guy can't get a cup of coffee?
Yeah.
I mean, this is,
No, you can't.
as a unioned employee, as the part of the internet, the Union of Internet Web Broadcasters, I am required a coffee break. And
No,
I will say for the record, we are starting at least 5 minutes earlier than normal. And it has screwed me up. And now I'm being attacked on the air, and I might have a mental breakdown.
You're not
I don't
being
appreciate it.
No, you're not being.
You know,
attacked.
the terms.
Hey,
terms
hey,
are
wait.
actually-
Let me finish the intro.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were done before you were attacking me.
Today's show is made possible by vMix Software, Telestream's Wirecast software, and is sponsored by Tom Sinclair of Live Streaming Gear. Now go with your tirade. Oh boy, here it goes.
I was going to say the real responsibility as being an internet broadcast is you bring coffee. You don't go get it.
Where do you bring it from?
It doesn't matter. It's his responsibility to find a place.
Oh.
You know, you bring coffee. It's
That's
funny.
what's
I've
in the
been-
contract.
That's it. It's part of the
decided to
terms
bring
and
it
conditions.
from the kitchen. That's all.
Yep.
He forgot to put cream, so he went to get cream, I guess.
No, I was adjusting my lights. I'll tell you what, you're gonna be pissed here in about 45 minutes when I go and grab a donut. That's gonna be a real problem.
Oh,
That's
man.
because it's not nearby, right?
No, I mean it's in the kitchen. See, it's
Oh,
funny.
okay.
I used to live in everything was in one room. Now I have to like walk across the house. Ooh.
Ooh. He's got a
Good morning.
whole house to go through.
Let me tell you what. I hate AT&T.
Uh-oh, here goes. Okay, yeah. That's a good, let's talk about it.
So their service has been down 3 times. When it went down the last time,
Since you moved in.
it had been down 3 times in 11 days.
Regional down or like specifically in your house?
Well, in my house, but some sort of neighborhood outage.
Okay.
So the first time it was out for like 20 minutes maybe. And it came right back up. Now, to be fair, they're doing a lot of construction nearby, and it's to be expected if you're doing construction that you have if you're cutting something over that there's going to be downtime. That's fun. I get it. So there was a big outage. A couple days after I had it installed, and that was due to a fiber cut. Okay, that happens too. The excavation, those guys are laying pipe, whatever. They cut the fiber. It was down for like 8 hours. Okay, great. So this Monday, I got an alert from my web server, my home web server, that it was offline at like 2:00 in the afternoon. So I go on AT&T's website, I log into my account, and you can reset your modem and ping it and do troubleshooting from there. So I tried running the diagnostics and nothing. So I called. Oh, well, right now, or a bit of, just a big run around, a bunch of BS. And they said, okay, well, we can get somebody out there. I said, oh, okay, great. I had a Zoom meeting Monday night I needed to attend. Turns out it wasn't a Zoom; it was an in-person meeting. I looked like a jackass, but I thought I had a Zoom meeting Monday night. So I was like, oh, okay, that's going to be a bit of a problem. Plus, I have infection on Tuesday. We can get somebody out there Saturday to take a look at your internet. I said, Saturday. Well,
Damn.
We're pretty busy. I said, okay, so you can't service the customers that you have. Saturday SLA on down internet is ridiculous. Nevertheless, I scream at this jackass on the phone. And here's the thing: I literally work in IT customer service. I know Gal does too. And users can be real assholes, frankly. But when I'm the frontline support person on the phone. If I'm going to sit there and make a lame ass excuse for my company, I deserve to get yelled at. If I didn't get your problem solved and I say, oh, it's because my colleague is sick, then I'm not doing my job. And frankly, I don't make those excuses to our customers. And when people make those excuses to me, I have a newfound respect to just explode on them. I don't care. Then don't accept my business. And I expect my company that I work for to do the same thing. If we can't service our customers, then we either need to hire a new technician or stop taking them on. So, okay, fine. Saturday, whatever. Mark the appointment. So I get home, I unplug the ONT, and then I plug it back in, and it comes right back up. So I don't know what the hell's going on, but I'll give it one more big outage, and then I'm done. I'm switching back to Spectrum. And I'm not paying my first month's bill. They already sent it to me in the mail, and I already called them and said, I'm not paying. They go, what do you mean? I said, I'm not paying. I said, you can come. If you shut off the service, you can come and take the shit out of my house because I'm not paying for it. And I didn't pay the install fee either, which I'm not going to pay. So I'm either going to get a month of free gigabit internet or I'm never going to have the service again.
So what did they say when you told them that?
They're like, oh, well, you've got to pay them. I said, I'm not paying it. So I literally am not going to pay it. They shut the service off. They can come and collect their crap. I'll switch over to Spectrum. I'm not paying for it. The service has been down 12 plus hours. And at the time it had been installed for 11 days. 11 days.
And your cable is still on top of the grass.
Hold on. You're not going to pay for the day you didn't get internet, right? So you
I'm not paying for the whole month.
Why? You got the internet the rest of the month.
That's not how customer service works. I work in customer service. That's not how it works.
That's not how customer service works. That's how ISPs works.
Well, that's fine. Then they can come collect their shit, and then I'll go switch back to Spectrum. I've done this with Spectrum before. When you have a multi-day or multiple, what I used to do, when I started doing it now again, is keeping track. I have a Word doc on my computer that says that or a Google Doc that keeps track of my outages.
Okay, let me make it easy on you. You can use testmy.net. Testmy.net. Try that site, and once you open an account, every measurement you take, it's tracked. Then you can get everything in graph, and it tells you the results compared to your previous results.
No, this is for full outages. So like I've got a thing that says from 12 p.m. to 9 p.m. the service was just out. So then when I call them and they say, oh, you owe us $64, I'm going to say, no, I don't. You're not providing the service that you're required to provide. It is not within their SLA. Based on the service I've had, their uptime has not met the contract that I signed with them. So I'm not paying for the service.
You remember that you have now established credit, right? Because of your mortgage.
He already got the
you're
house.
You're not going to pay the bill on time. You're going to get hurt.
Nah.
Darn. Well, I guess I won't be able to go get my $40,000 car I was going to get, or I guess I can't go and get a loan for a mattress I was going to buy. Damn it. AT&T can kiss my ass. I'm not paying for the service. And if they won't, and this is my point, as a brand new customer, having had the service 11 days and there being two major outages.
I'm with you on the rage. I understand where it's coming from. I just know that.
Well, and that's my point. Is if them as a company, if they can't see that and somebody can't determine that, hey, we need to buy $64. AT&T makes billions of dollars a year. If they can't write off $64 on my internet service, I'm not going to be their customer. Plain and simple.
Excuse me.
Exactly.
But it's not the $64. They're not seeing you as a $64 markup. They're seeing a whole neighborhood times 64.
I'll
Right?
tell you
That's
what.
the problem.
And if they, I'm gonna put a big freaking sign in my lawn that says AT&T sucks. And if you don't think I will, because I've already got political signs up there. My yard is gonna turn into a goddamn billboard because I don't have an HOA. I can do whatever the hell I want. I'm gonna say AT&T sucks.
Tire marks on the lawn yet?
No, I'm not parking my car on the lawn, Spence.
No, but I mean people coming and driving over your signs.
No, they haven't tried that yet.
That's next.
He's got
spares.
There.
He has
Oh,
spares.
I do. I keep spares in my trunk of my car just in case. Fast action response team. I'll pull up in a rage, throw the car into park, and put a new sign out.
Did you see the story? It was from another election, but the guy had signs up in his yard, and people kept driving over them,
So put
swerving
spikes
onto
on
his
them?
grass. So
Yeah.
he put blocks of woods with nails spiked out of them.
Yeah.
And hid them under the signs.
Yeah.
And then he went down the street and watched the people that would drive over and have to stop and change their tire. It's great.
I don't think that's legal though.
Yeah,
What?
it is.
I don't
To
know.
put spikes on your own property?
I don't know.
Absolutely. It's
I had
absolutely it's legal.
I had a friend who one time the kids would just cut across his corner. He lived on a corner. It was a big open area. And they would literally just drive across his lawn. So what he did was he went out there and got these 2.5 to 3 foot rocks.
Yeah.
And just laid them all on the lawn. They came by one night, didn't know they were there, and they just ripped their cars to shreds.
Yeah,
Because they were cutting across his grass.
Yeah, you can put whatever you want on your own property.
I mean, you put rocks. It's decorations. You can always say, but to put, I don't know.
Yeah, it's
it
a
may be
decoration.
fine.
Yeah, I mean that'd be no different than throwing a wrench in your yard.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Most states,
I'm pretty sure I read somewhere that you're not allowed to booby trap something that, a burglar, for example, right, would get physically harmed.
So wait, are you telling me that my shotgun contraption I have on my front door is not illegal?
Yeah, something like that. Exactly. That's the thing.
When the lock turns, it blows a cap out.
Look, it might be a
State
associated law, right? It might be, and so in certain places there
Merle,
are laws against it. But
Well, Merle in the chat is saying that first of all, he said Gal is correct and says most states won't allow you to set booby traps. Now, I think Merle knows his stuff.
I'd love to hear.
yeah,
that.
but
I don't know.
But it's still different because there's no bodily harm. There's harm to the vehicle or whatever, right? But there's no. But yeah, still, it sounds like.
If you're listening and you're not watching the chat, too bad. You're missing a lot of good stuff.
I agree, Alan. I'm going to put that sign on my lawn too. It's going to be great. My house will be firebombed within a year of living here. I can guarantee it.
Boy. Yeah, it's in the movies.
yeah.
You can do it, but
Yeah, so I'll keep everybody updated on the AT&T saga.
So
the service is great.
Home Alone,
yeah,
Yes.
right? The kid needs to go to jail.
Oh, so does Trump because he was in the movie. He was. The movie offends me.
all right.
Nick, I suggest what you do is you set up your shotgun thing. But
Yeah.
you put a hole in the door with a rope that's tied to the trigger hanging through the door, and just say, for immediate service, pull rope.
Or I'll get a big bowling ball and hit you right in the nuts if you walk in.
A bucket of ice water over the door.
Yeah,
That's
but the
it.
problem with the bucket of ice water, then you have to clean it up.
It needs to
I guess
happen.
the shotgun, I guess you have a bit of a mess on your
See,
hands.
but the
as
thing
well.
is, it needs to be after the burglar is in your house. You can't
So-
shoot them while they're outside.
set up a fake front door.
Front door, yeah.
This is my dummy front door that's always unlocked.
Ah, boy.
Set up like an airlock, like a NASA
Yeah,
spaceship.
yep. All right.
All right. Yeah. No, this is all joking of, this is all a joke. It's all satire. I'm not killing anybody. I'm not going to kill myself. No
Yet.
bodily harm is going to be done. For the record.
We're just testing storylines
Yes.
for a comedy act.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm politically active now, so somebody's liable to come over and take me out.
So listen to this here. AT&T, talking about AT&T,
Right.
lost an astounding 900,000 cable subscribers in the first quarter of 2020. And now Comcast has reported that it lost 477,000 pay TV subscribers of its own for the second quarter. In the first quarter of 2020, roughly 409 subscribers pulled the plug on their Comcast provider cable subscriptions. This last quarter, the corporate giant managed to lose substantially more. If these losses continue to grow at this rate, Comcast may be on a track to lose twice as many cable subscribers this year as it did last year. For reference, the company took a hit of around 733,000 cable subscribers in 2019. And it has already dropped significantly more than that, around 886,000 customers in 2020. There are plenty of reasons for these mass subscriber losses, but COVID-19 is likely chief among them. What is lost in cable TV subscribers is gain in internet customers. The report notes that Comcast managed to snag around 323,000 additional broadband customers in the second quarter, the best second quarter high-speed internet ads in 13 years, according to the company. And their reasoning was that with COVID, a lot of people are home and they have time to look at other solutions.
Okay. Go back, start the story over again.
And
what was the first number? What was the first number from AT&T?
AT&T lost an astounding 900,000 in the first quarter.
Yeah, see, that's not COVID. First quarter is January, February, March.
They're
March
talking in
22nd.
general, right? Yeah.
So how did they lose almost 1 million subscribers prior to COVID? Well, unless they're
But he said they lost cable subscribers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
TV.
gained internet subscribers.
But so there's either a mass cord cutting going on,
Exactly. That's what I was going for.
or the AT&T TV service, which they're trying to get rid of, by the way, because they're trying to push those people over. They're getting rid of their TV service.
Look, I think that Spectrum is trying to do the same thing. There's a lot more money in internet service. There's a lot less.
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
There's a lot less upkeep and to pay out. It's fine because, again, when I canceled mine, there wasn't even an attempt by them to say, well, let's see what we can do to lower it, blah, 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 blah.
So they don't have that retention person anymore?
They do.
To
They
tell you
do.
how great their service is, and you'd be stupid to reject it?
I don't know if it's because I called last month and I said that I'm probably going to cancel. I mean, the point is, it's not like it used to be. So I don't know if they're actually, these reps were told, if somebody canceled, yeah, that's okay, let them cancel. And they're right. I mean, I upped my internet. So it works like this. But a lot of people, the cord cutting is the reason. I mean, yeah, you can't blame.
Yeah, I think, like you said, internet has a lot lower overhead.
Yeah.
And they don't have to worry about licensing and subscriptions and fees and all this other stuff.
And it's amazing because we had off the air reception and cable for about a month. And every time one of the stations will start pixelating, so, and it's mainly those off, the oldies and stuff, I would switch to off the air. And it's perfect. And I'm saying, why is it pixelating with them?
Because the bandwidth is so limited.
Well,
that's why cell phone calls suck. They just got they've got the bandwidth so clamped down. But no, so we talked about this with Spotify, right?
Yeah.
the issue with Spotify as a business right now is even though you pay a subscription to them, everything you do on their platform costs them a significant amount of money. Everything you do on their platform is something that they've got to pay out.
Right.
And it's kind of the same thing with those internet with the cable providers. Anything you're watching on cable, they have to pay out. Now it's different because they're not paying per watch, but they're paying per subscriber.
Right.
Internet is a little bit different than that. They
Internet,
control
they
a lot
don't-
of that network themselves.
They don't have to pay anything except.
Well, they
for
do.
the
They've got.
bandwidth.
I'm
Yeah.
sure they've got certain backbone connections.
Oh yeah.
That are,
Oh no,
that you pay
absolutely
per.
Yeah.
You know that are scaled based on subscriber count.
Maybe I don't know that they'll be scaled.
It's just hard to. Obviously, the cable companies have done it for 40 years now, but it's hard to make money in a business when you're just reselling somebody else's stuff because your margins are very low.
Right.
And see, they could do it when, how many cable subscribers are there in the United States?
Oh no, I have no idea.
Well, this is why there was
Probably
a big
close to
push
how
get
many
into-
people are in the United States.
Yeah, 81.7 million cable subscribers in 2018.
Wow.
How many?
Just between AT&T, Comcast, Spectrum, Altice, and Spectrum was about 81 million subscribers.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So you can, so you can,
20%,
so you can make, when you've got 81 million subscribers, your little margin, you can make a whole hell of a lot of money. But once you start shedding 1 million subscribers a quarter, they're going to have to start raising the price because then the margins just shrink and shrink and shrink and shrink because they're still paying out licensing fees to ESPN, to the local cable channels, to everybody else. They have to pay for those channels.
But by the same token, Nick, they can't raise it because there are ISPs. I mean, not everywhere, but there are ISPs who are just ISPs. And
I'm talking about cable.
I understand.
Cable television.
Yeah, that's going to stay. So for television, they will have to raise it or subsidize it with their internet subscriber income, because the prices for cable are only going to go down, in my opinion.
I think they won't be able to.
Well,
I agree that they should only go down, but if you just keep losing more and more and more and more subscribers,
but if you're gaining internet,
no, you're probably not gaining internet. You're keeping internet. Most people have internet and cable at the same company.
well, I don't know. The article was saying that the report notes that Comcast managed to snag around 323,000 additional broadband customers in the second quarter. So that's new.
That was because of the stay.
That's
home.
COVID. Yeah,
that's
I
COVID.
mean, it whatever and
but once COVID ends, which will be
It's never going. What are
eventually-
you talking about? It's never going to end.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, Dr.
This is
Fauci.
it.
I apologize.
Did you get your goggles yet? Fauci
Yeah,
wants
I-
everybody to wear goggles.
I apologize. Sorry for being such
the
inconsiderate
reason
a-hole.
okay, finish what you were saying, Nick.
No, so my point
Once
is
COVID ends, you said you think people are
Okay.
going to go back?
no. Once COVID ends, you're not going to have mass people. You had your mass subscribers to internet in quarter 2 of this year. People that had there's a lot of people that just use their cell phone home. They don't even have home internet. That changed. Okay, great. So now they've got their internet. They're either going to keep it or cancel it. My point is, in the future, people are going to continue canceling their cable. Amnon, you're a great example of it. You are the pinnacle of somebody, Amnon, that has cable till they die. Based on your age, you and Kathy being retired, you are the ideal model of somebody that has internet until the day, cable television until the day you die.
Yeah.
Like my grandparents, probably like my parents, just based on their age and their demographics and what they watch. And when people like you start cutting the cord and those margins go down and down and down and down for these companies, they're going to have to raise the rates because they're not going to be making, they don't make any money.
It's built in. They think of themselves as a monopoly, the way like a power company would treat people. They're constantly asking for rate increases on a regular basis. They just have it in the pipe because they've got 3 or 4 rate increases always being presented to the Public Service Commission. And because they anticipate that they're going to either lose money or something's going to change in the future, or they should always have more money coming in to cover their phony baloney budgets. So it's the same thing with Spectrum. They have their multi-year plan. They know what they have a pretty good idea what's going to happen from surveys and things like that. And they will constantly be raising rates stealthily to keep their margins.
So, I mean, if you look at TV, I can go to Spectrum right now and get just TV for 12 months for $45. Now they're going to charge me a service fee or whatever. So let's say 55 or 60 bucks. How much of that $60 are they paying out in licensing to subscribers? A lot. So the point I'm making is, as those subscribers drop, they're still paying out the same amount, and the margin they're squeaking away with just becomes less and less and less and less. Well, so eventually they're either going to have to jack up the rates to the to TV or internet to subsidize it, as Amnon said, or which actually needs to happen, Gal. If you want to talk about cord cutting, Gal, what needs to actually happen is that the cable companies need to press the networks, ESPN, Disney, all of the people, Disney owns ABC and ESPN and all those things, to stop asking such ridiculous rates to carry their service. It's a similar issue with pharmaceuticals. The issue is not the drugstore. It's the pharmaceutical companies that charge a ridiculous amount and sell to the drugstore.
Well,
Verizon,
it's also the insurance companies who cover it, right? So,
but
yeah. But
ESPN charges something like $3 per subscriber to Spectrum. $3 a subscriber out of a $60 bill. That's ridiculous. That's crazy. $3 subscription rate. So until the cable companies smack the originators and say, we literally cannot afford to do this, it's not going to change.
Let me tell you another scenario here.
Okay.
The cord cutting did not go kind of really full speed. Well, it's still not full speed until COVID came about, because a lot of people could sit there and look at what's available. Now, also, why did I cut the cord?
Because you're cheap.
Well, not really. I am. I mean, we all should be cheap, especially when you're on a fixed income, so to speak. But if Gal wasn't here, if I didn't know Gal, I wouldn't have done it.
Yeah, so you wouldn't have listened to my recommendation.
Well, no, look, but you did not give me a solution that worked. Gal actually did. And I am giving
about helping implementing.
I'm giving that same advice to other people. And when people start telling people, and now there's a whole lot more people, all these cord cutters are going to tell their friends, look, we can do
Here's the thing, though. You set up you did an extreme cord.
I understand.
You set up the most, you can cut the cord. You can just get one of those HD home runs and cut the cord. You don't need to set up
absolutely. And not only that, but here, Marshall bought a house in the mountains.
Yeah.
It is on the side of a mountain on 10 acres. There's nobody around him. All he sees is top of mountains and clouds below him.
Okay.
He doesn't have internet. He was asking me, what can he get that will give him good channels? Something to watch. I said, well, you really, and the reason I told him what I'm going to tell you is because I am not that experienced with it anymore. I said, you're going to have to set up a server at home, a Plex server, and get one of those HD home runs to get whatever through antenna. He said, what is that, Plex? I said, yeah. And I said, and Plex just added a whole bunch, like 80 channels the week before. And he went on the computer right away. And he said, oh, I see Plex. Oh, and it says, watch now. Oh, look. And I never knew that you can get for free, get on Plex on the computer, set up an account, and start watching all these movies and old TV series without paying a penny.
That's completely new though. That's like
Yeah, I
6 months,
understand. I
and the
understand.
TV is like a week old, right? It's
Yes.
like really.
But this is, you see, once you start, and at this point you said, so I don't need to get any of the other stuff. I mean, I've got it here. I said, yeah, the only thing is you need to figure out how to get it on your computer. I mean, on your TV with the app that's built in. It said, well, it's not, my TV is not smart at this point, but I have Rokus that I bought in order to put on all the TVs. I said, yeah, that will work perfect. And here is somebody who is going to go and subscribe to some services that will bring him TV, that will give him content over the internet for a good chunk of money. Now he can do it for nothing. And it will only get more and more. I'm sure that Plex is not stupid. The people there are making money. They have ads on all these shows. Those ads are probably paying money. It's planned. So then there'll maybe be another one and another one and another one. And people will see, oh, you know what? Yeah, we have to do this because everybody's going for those. So the more people, it's like the old commercials. You tell a person, that person tells to 2 other people, and those tell to 16 people. And that's how massive cord cutting will happen. And I'll bet you that in the third quarter is going to be a lot worse than the second quarter for these guys.
Yes.
And the other thing that I found out, and the other reason why it took me time to cut the cord, is because there were shows on cable that you knew they're not off the air. Little did I know. There's a whole station called Antenna TV off the air that has a lot of these older shows. And they don't carry it on cable. You never knew about it. So when you start talking about all these things, especially for people my age, I like to watch those old sitcoms. There's another push in order to cut the cord. And really, to watch all these, you don't need to set up a server and all that. No, you just need an antenna, a good antenna, and you're set.
What is the service that provides the emulated TV reception from different cities over the internet for free? It's a not-for-profit. We talked about it last week. You remember the name?
No.
It's where they'll take Atlanta, and what they do is they capture and rebroadcast all the local Atlanta stations.
Interesting.
Someone mentioned it. Well, I'm probably going to say it in chat because somebody mentioned it last week. I can't remember the name of it.
Locast. Alan is saying it's Locast.
Locast. There it is. Locast. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
But you look, IMDb has their own free.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot.
Service.
There's a lot of them. I mean, Plex is huge.
Pluto TV.
So this is what
you go to Pluto, and it's you get to their screen, and what comes up is the guide and the channel right there.
Yeah.
You don't have to do anything.
Right. So Nick, this is what's going to bring more of this, and at that point, everywhere other than the U.S., the internet charges are going down. Speeds are going up, and charges are going down. Mm-hmm. Which is amazing. Only here we pay good money for it. But that good money at this point, as far as I'm concerned, is less than half of what I was paying. So I'm okay.
Yeah, I mean, I say what you want about Spectrum.
Yeah.
I think for $70-something a month, if their service is reliable in your area like it was where I previously was, right, I didn't second guess paying for it because the service always worked. It did what I wanted it to do. Did I want to spend $74 a month on internet? No, but let's be honest. Right. I'm on the internet all day, every day. Okay, great. It's, it is what it is. So
it's
I agree, and I tell you what, when you pick up these smart TVs, and as I think as Alan said it in chat, Pluto TV and Zumo XUMO or whatever, and if you buy a Vizio TV, it's got Vizio Smart, which is another Pluto thing.
Did you say
Yeah.
Guido TV?
No, I would
Oh,
never
I
say
thought it
such
was an
a slur.
Italian.
Guido.
Only, I didn't realize.
Yeah, it is. It's just a
Unshot
rerun.
first.
It's a reruns of The Godfather and Sopranos all
That's
the
it.
time.
Yep. With Italian subtitles.
Yes.
So this is what's
an
good.
Emerald Agassi's show. That's all. That's all. That's all it is.
Now let me tell you something.
Okay.
So yesterday I went and I put that Clearstream antenna on the roof on a mast.
What
What are you doing on the roof?
What's a Clearstream antenna?
A Clearstream antenna is, well, maybe you can bring it. I mean on the it's a make. But
Oh, it's a brand. Okay.
it's
Gotcha.
a brand, and one of the local guys, friend of ours, was telling me that that's what he got. And sure enough, the flat page, laminated page, works. But channel 4 was kind of bad. It would pixelate a lot, and other channels would every now and then pixelate. Not to the point that it would bother me, but it bothered Kathy. So I put this one, and it was, it's not that exactly. It's the same, but it doesn't have the reflector. And they explain, if you go to Clearstream, what is the reflector behind it. But this is what it looks like. It's about 1.5 feet tall. So I got it, and I put it on the eave of the house, and it worked pretty good, but Channel 4 still gave me a problem. So I went up and I put it up on top because Kathy likes to watch Channel 4 and they're gardening and all that. Unbelievable. Now, I was getting 41 channels, but not all of them came in. When you scan, that's what it said. With this, it went up to 56. And I saw WFMY. I'm saying, what the hell is WFMY? But then I noticed, it's ABC or CBS. I don't know. It's one of the.
Yeah, it's out of It's from WFMY. Is out of Greensboro.
Well, it comes in, but it's a duplicate of other channels, so I didn't need it. But it's nice to see that it's coming in. And,
so,
go ahead.
Yeah, I had the same thing here. So I moved a little bit further north, and I now get WITN out of the Greenville TV market.
And that's another one, Channel 2.
Yeah, it's an NBC affiliate.
Yeah.
So you get the same stuff, but it is cool to have the different stuff available. Absolutely. Do you get WITN there on your new antenna?
Yeah, I get WITN.
Really? Wow,
yeah.
ITN's a great. ITN's a great
I
channel.
mean, it's 2.1 through 2.6 or 2.7.
Yeah,
I mean,
ITN's a great. They've got some great local news on ITN.
So it's there. So when you start seeing all that stuff and all that content that you're getting, really, unless and you can always subscribe to Netflix and get movies and stuff, but again, you have older movies and TVs and all on Plex right now and on free sources. What the only thing you need is you need to get good internet service in order to do other stuff. Off the air, you can get, I bought that first antenna. Oh, it was $17. Wow, great. And it worked. Versus that little stick that I had that I found out doing nothing. But then you see, okay, here's this antenna. Well, it's not cheap. It's like $70, $80. But it's worth it. It's half of 1 month savings of what you pay Spectrum, and it's paid for. So the only thing is that we tell other people because we are satisfied, happy with this. So you always tend to tell people. Well, when do you tell people about stuff? When you're pissed off at something, or when you really feel good about something. If it's just okay, you don't talk about it. So this works. Does it work for everyone? No. Go ahead.
Let me ask you this then. Okay, so how would I mount one of these on my roof if I were to get one? Where do you screw
You
it
have
into?
do you have a chimney?
No.
There's no chimney on the roof.
No.
Everything
all electric,
electric.
Emma.
That's right. Well,
Yeah.
then you don't need to put
Do
it
you
on
have
the
a
roof.
vent in your attic?
Yeah.
Then you can pass a wire through that vent.
Yeah, I'm not worried about passing the wire. Where would you just screw
You
it into
screw it to the
shingles on
wood.
roof?
I would be. I mean, even though that antenna comes in with pads that
Mhm.
you put under each of the feet.
Yeah.
To seal the thing, but then every time you change the roof, the roof
Every
with
time
new.
you change
Yeah,
the roof.
no, every time you redo the roof, they're gonna have to take it off. And
Well, it's a
this and
common
that.
thing down here,
Oh.
actually.
But
Yeah,
I
he
tell you
just-
what.
you have a new roof, don't you?
Let me
Nick?
tell you what
Yeah,
I
wait
would
till a
do.
hurricane comes through. I'll have
Nick,
to get a new one. So.
Nick, let
Yeah,
me
no.
tell you what I would do. And you're into.
Yeah, you'll probably also need a new antenna. It doesn't really matter.
What's the
Yeah, I was
brand?
gonna say if I need a new roof from a hurricane, that antenna's probably gonna be gone.
you're into shortwave.
Yeah.
And sooner or later, you would want to put an antenna out.
I'm putting a tower up.
Okay.
There you
That's
go.
what no, don't laugh. Don't laugh. You go to Home Depot and you buy 2 10-foot sections of what they call it, chain link top.
Galvanized pipe.
Yeah, that goes on top the
Yeah,
long,
that's just galvanized pipe. Yeah.
and you stick it into each other. That's what I have my flag mast on.
No, I'm getting an actual antenna, like a 45-foot, like physical antenna, like tower.
Well, are you kidding or are you serious?
No, I'm being dead serious.
Oh, then in that case, you got nothing to worry about.
Yeah,
That's where you.
well, yeah, but I'm not. I don't
most
have that
people,
yet.
Most people that have a chimney, and a
Okay.
chimney, you just buy a $16 or something like that antenna mast mount. It comes with 2 long strips of metal,
Oh, you strap it. Okay.
and
Band,
you
yeah,
strap it
bands that you
around, and
adjust.
then it tightens on the brackets, and then you put the mast, and you put a clamp on it, and that's it. It's there.
Mhm.
But you can take this and put it on. Even one section depends on the house that you have and where you are. You can take just a 10-foot, stick it in the ground. I mean, that mast for the flag has been up there for years and years. It's fine. It's 20
What about
feet up.
what about for people that what about screwing it into the siding on the back side of the house? Could you
Well,
do that?
You can. The
It'll affect your
siding.
line of sight, though. You want it to have clear line of sight.
Well, that's a good
Spence,
point. Yeah.
Spence, that's perfect if you have that. But if you don't have it, it's not the end of the world. I
I know that, but it depends on what direction you're getting your signal.
This is
from.
true.
Yeah.
I had that antenna mounted on the eaves of the house, on the right under the soffit.
Okay.
It was actually protected from the weather, and it was working pretty good. I didn't have to tweak it or anything. I mean, it worked. Oh, there it goes, and it worked. This antenna that Nick just showed you is actually made also to work indoors, and it worked great sitting in the chair in the living room. But it worked a little bit better outside, and yet a little bit better up on the roof. So it all depends. If you're just looking for your local stations, just leave it in. It actually looks good. It looks like a piece of art, like somebody said. They said that they have it sitting on the stand where the TV is, and it's brown, and it looks like a piece of art, really. It doesn't have that reflector. It's just like a number 8 with a nice leg. I mean, foot. What the way that that one is showing is it has pipes going down, but it doesn't. It has a foot, just like a stand of a TV that you mount it in, and it's a piece of plastic. It's all brown. It's not so. There are many ways that you can do it, and you can, if you're trying to get more, you can take it and you can walk around the house and find the place that you may be able to put it on a 6-foot post outside in the backyard somewhere, and you get great reception. Easy. You can do it. It's just a matter of get out and do it. And when you have cable, that urge is not that much there. I mean, I left cable for another month because I wanted Kathy to get used to how to use it, how to use the HD home run and Plex and all that. That did not materialize because she still had cable, so she get frustrated a little bit and okay, cable. Well, one evening when she was doing it, I just walked over to the box, I unplugged it from power, and I said, "That's it. Now you need to figure out how to use this." Lo and behold, it didn't take her a couple hours. The next day, she was showing me stuff. So it does work, and it does work well. And you may have to give some channels up, but you can find them online. You can, or just forget about them. I mean, yesterday we had an accident on Jones Franklin, and Donna was coming over, and she said, "I can't. The road is blocked both ways." So I'm looking outside, and traffic is moving. I said, "What's going on?" But there was a bad accident I saw on the news later. But I told Kathy, put it on channel 14 because that's all day news on Spectrum. And I turned around and said, "Oh, never mind. We don't have that anymore." So it's okay. It's no big deal. Didn't lose anything. It's just the curiosity. Never mind. So you may have to give up something. It all depends what you're used to and what channels you're using and things like that. If you have kids in the house, you know that they don't do any of that. They probably watch it, like Nick said, on their phone, the Xbox, I don't know. This is why internet is important. Because now everything is coming on the internet. How many of you know that when you have cable through AT&T, that actually each TV that you have in the house is taking bandwidth, I think it's 8 or 32, whatever, K from your bandwidth. So if you had DSL that was, in the old days, 384, and you had two TVs, you did not have no 384. With Spectrum, it's different. Spectrum, the cable coming into the house does not interfere with the speed of the internet. And I don't know, maybe Spence can explain it, but who cares? We just know that that's the way it works. So this is now everything has a bearing on your internet because you are receiving a lot of stuff through the internet, through an app. So that's why I opted to push the bandwidth, the service a little bit higher because it's got 4 tuners. And I said, yeah, if she wants to record this channel and that channel and watch this, that's 3 feeds. So it was still cheap. I highly recommend it. Let me kick that soapbox. Okay, now you guys. Shh.
There.
Spence, are you ready for
Yes, I am ready.
specials?
Just have one special. It's today at Dunkin Donuts. You can get a coffee and a cinnamon roll for $1.89. That's it. Thank you.
They're out of cinnamon rolls.
They're out. Oh, you went and got them all. What do they call them? Coffee rolls, I think they call them. Did you see they're going to close like 1,300 shops?
Oh,
Dunkin Donuts.
Most of them are in gas stations, though.
Yeah, they're probably not standalone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's why when I travel, that's usually where I stop and get coffee. In Boston, you can drive down US 1 north of Boston and pass one like every 3 minutes, literally. They're everywhere.
it's a lot of coffee.
Yeah.
Boston.
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 Yeah.
All right.
All right. So Computers 2K Now specials for, can you believe it? It's August 2nd, 2020. So for those of you who are looking to have your daily social media affirmation, making everyone happy is impossible. Pissing them off is a piece of cake. I like cake. Seize the day, carpe diem. Here we go. I tell you, you just, if you're able to take a step backwards and look at social media from the entertainment perspective and not let it fry your brain. So many people get their brains fried by it. It's very amusing. It's in some ways it's sad, but it's also very amusing just to see people just lose their you know what
Yeah.
over stuff that it's amazing. All right.
All right.
So I digress. Okay. So simplifying things lately with not going out and finding a ton of stuff there. You go out, did a little shopping and analysis for laptops for my daughter. She's setting up a Zoom environment for the dance studio she works in. So we had to find an available laptop that we could buy in quantities, 5 to 8 machines, and get a good deal on. It was hard to find. We did actually wind up getting some HP machines through Staples that were very good price. i3, 8 gig of memory, 250 or two. I don't remember what size it was, but 200 terabyte range for, not terabytes, 200 gigabyte range for the SSD, Ethernet, which we wanted to have as a backup in case the Wi-Fi doesn't work right, and very good machines. It was $349. But that is not a sale that's happening anymore, but we were able to source those. All right, so looking around today, I went to Walmart, and these are all available. Some of them are 2-day delivery. Some of these 4 that I mentioned here are not same-day delivery, but these are all sold by Walmart. You have to be careful when you go to the Walmart site to see who actually sells it. So they will put up lots of partner providers, sellers. So these are all actually sourced by Walmart. So we've got a Lenovo Ideapad S340. This is a popular machine. This is a Core i5. Normally $699. They've got it for $549. It's a 2-day delivery or free pickup. And again, these links are all the active links that were there today. You can go and click on. These will all take you to the Walmart retail site. The other links that are here will take you to whoever's offering the product.
Well, the thing is, you can't click on them. You need to copy and paste them.
You know, if you're in a PDF, you can click on them. If you download the PDF, it gives you an active link. It might ask you, it might challenge you from a security perspective.
Okay, no, it's fine.
Continue with this. But it'll work. I tested it. So,
okay.
We've got a gaming laptop. This is an Asus ROG Strix G gaming laptop, 15.6 inch i5 for $999, normally $1499. I actually had a talk with the Chromebook lady over at Best Buy, which was very interesting. Because of looking to source these laptops, I stopped and I took a look at Chromebooks as they might work, but we didn't want to limit ourselves to future use for other things. So we wound up going with a Windows 10. But pretty good deal on some Chromebooks. This is a Samsung Chromebook, 11.6 inch Celeron N4000 for $199, normally $229. And a Lenovo Ideapad 15-inch laptop, Ryzen 5 for $419. And this was a they call it an ultrabook. It's a nice format for the Ryzen platform. Okay, moving on to desktops. It's hard to find desktops. I think they're just not making that many anymore. It used to be you could find good deals. I think that they realized that laptops are the way to go. In fact, so many of these micro machines now, like this HP Elite desktop, is probably based on a system board from a laptop, just to make it easy. Oh, desktops here, we've got the HP Elite Desktop 705 G4 Mini PC, Ryzen 5, 8 gig of memory, 256 SSD, Windows Pro for $439, normally $739. And it is available direct from HP. And then we've got a Dell desktop here. This is direct from Dell. This is an Intel Core i3, Windows 10, home, 1 terabyte spinning drive, 4 gig memory for $349, $50 off the regular price. Okay. A worthwhile subject each, which is routers, because a lot of people are with cord cutting, and a lot of people using these services in their house are suffering from bandwidth issues or connectivity issues or streaming issues. This first router was the one that we actually installed over at the dance studio. This is a Linksys Maxstream AC2200 tri-band router. This router solved so many, just the addition of this piece of hardware fixed so many problems they had in the studio. We chose the furthest studio from the access point to set up one of these new HP machines. And we were getting over Wi-Fi over 350 meg download speed. Upload speed was 35. And I'm not sure what she got one of the best business services she could get. And I understand from Amnon that you can no longer get from cable anyway, symmetrical service, or you have to really pay a lot to get.
I don't think you ever could.
Well, yeah, that's right. Because cable modems are based on
right,
like 24 channels down, 8 up.
Right.
So probably isn't physically possible unless you have some other type of service, not a cable modem. So, but what a deal! This is a Linksys Maxstream 149 at Amazon.
Now you said you took the farthest.
Went to the farthest studio and connected it.
Well, so the router is not centrally located?
No, it is centrally located.
Okay,
it's in the lobby. It's not perfectly in the center.
Okay, go on.
This is where the service was dropped off.
Okay,
and that part of the building had 3 studios in a row. Each one of them was probably maybe 25 to 30 feet long by about 15 to 20 feet wide. So I went to the furthest one and we hooked this thing up and it worked great. So I think it's going to solve a lot of the issues we thought we might have. We may still have to do some rearranging for this other wing of the building. They do have another router over there. It's not new. So we may either upgrade that router or run some Ethernet cables to these laptops in those rooms. We're going to see what happens as they add, if they get up to their simultaneous Zoom hosted meetings, they're going to expect to have maybe 5 going at the same time. So we may run into an issue and have to do some tweaking of the network. Okay. Very popular router. I have 2 of these, the TP-Link Archer 7, A7, AC1750 dual band router, $69. That's available at Amazon. Belkin AC1200. If you want to upgrade your small home apartment network without spending a lot of money, you can get a $29 Belkin AC1200 dual band router from Amazon. $29. Yeah, it's not the highest speed. It's AC1200, but it does have dual band, 2.4 and 5 gigahertz. It's got a lot of nice features on it. It's a great upgrade for a small environment. Mm-hmm. And then finally, TP-Link Deco Home Mesh 170 on sale, normally $300. That's also at Amazon. This is if you have a large home. It's got 1 base station, 2 remotes, and this is also an AC router. I don't have the speed on here. The description actually didn't have the speed.
It's normally in the part number. It's a 300. I would guess.
Oh no!
It's not. No, it's got nothing.
It's going to be higher than that. Well, I can actually click on it here. So let me open this in a different.
Yeah, you need to find out what the.
I'll tell you in a second. AC. Let's see. AC what?
What's the model number?
I'm looking through the description here. It doesn't say it yet.
Well,
up to 5,500 square feet. That's a big house, depending on the layout. It doesn't say.
It's fine.
I have to find it, but it's not going to be. It's not going to be a slow system. So
right,
it's going to work pretty good. It's AC 1 million.
You're kidding?
1 million, yeah.
Okay. All right.
1 million. Okay. All right, so we're moving on. Accessories. HP direct sale from HP, free delivery of a 19-inch monitor. Getting hard to find 19s, but in many cases it's perfectly adequate, right? 19.5-inch monitor, HD monitor, $60, sold by HP, delivered for free. So those are hard to find, aren't they? Like smaller monitors.
It's been a long time since I bought a monitor. I have no idea.
Yeah. So I remember you were looking for some really small
Yeah.
ones at one time.
Yeah, it's not
Uh,
readily available. You're
yeah.
right. Yeah.
Older form factors, but pretty good. All right, Seagate 2 terabyte USB 3.0 portable drive for $57.49. This is at all these things are these other things are all Walmart. The first one is HP Direct from HP, and these other things. Oh, I should say this one thing, the Seagate drive is direct from Walmart. The other three are sold through Walmart from other vendors. Pluggable USB 3.0 universal laptop docking station. These are great to have for people working from home who bring their laptops home and want to hook up a single cable and not have to go through, plug it in the display, plug it into Ethernet, plug it in the USB ports to different printers and so on. Now you can get them cheaper, but this is actually a good brand, Pluggable, $94, sold directly by Pluggable. And finally, didn't you look at this, Amnon? Who has this? The
I do.
Elgato's. You do? Yeah.
I do.
So is
And
this a good price?
Nick has it.
Is this a good price? $179?
Yeah, I think it's
For the
249.
the 15 button version. Yeah. So this is also sold through Walmart, but fulfilled through Mega Retail Store for $179.32. What a price, huh? All right, well, that's it for specials for August 2nd, 2020.
All right. Thank you, Spence.
I'll let you know more about. I'm going to go in and try to tweak and look at this Linksys Maxstream just to see what other features are there. I didn't have access to it when I was there yesterday. I didn't have the password to get in. So when we go in, and we're going to do a kind of a network assessment, once things get up and running. So,
No?
Yes, sir.
All
right.
All right. Yeah, I mean, Nick, did you talk me into the stream? Yeah, you and Sean talked me into the stream deck.
You got yours actually before I did, though.
Yeah, but you guys told me about it because you had something else. So you didn't really. I don't remember.
But I have it now.
Yeah. Bless you.
Bless you.
I don't know what your average computer users will do with a stream deck.
Oh, I don't know. There's a lot of stuff you can do with it.
Okay.
It's a very cool device.
It is.
You can if you're somebody that likes macros and hotkeys and whatnot, it's a great device.
Yep. I mean, you see me switching back and forth between. I don't know that I can. Let me put it on this, and you can see it. But you can also see that in the button, it has a video of what shot it is. So here's me. If I'll go with this, it'll be Nick. And if I'll go here, you can see that it's the double. And here I start the streaming and the recording, and everything is I don't need to use the keyboard anymore or the mouse. It's everything is through it. So it's like shortcuts. So if you do have shortcuts that you go on your keyboard and you do control something or alt something or whatever, you have one of these, you can actually set up the button to look or to have text on it, and you say, okay, this is such and such, this is such and such. And it's all really the thing, and we figured it out later, is it's one big screen that is divided into sections, like areas. And the fact that there are buttons there doesn't mean anything. It's just like a touch screen, but it's one big screen behind it. So you type whatever you wanted to say, or you display a picture of something. It's a cool device, definitely. And they have some bigger ones. They have one that's I don't know. This is 15. They have smaller ones for about $80 that has about 8, 9, something like that. And they have bigger ones that have like over 20. So it's neat. Elgato Stream Deck. Like for and again, for certain things, if you're used to it, it's great to use it. If you're just sitting home and oops, I didn't realize I was that far from the mic. But if you're just using a computer with Office and stuff, I don't know. I mean, is this something that you would want for just casual user in the office? No.
Well,
Nick, you're muted.
Yeah, I don't think the casual user is going to spend $200
Yeah.
on a macro
Yeah.
device, in my opinion.
no, but when Spence mentioned it was on sale,
Yeah.
and I took a look, and there are people who have hooked it up to Home Assistant, and then it becomes like a controller for a smart home, and that can be really cool.
Controlling the smart, the assistant.
You have a physical button layout to control
yeah.
the office space, right? That you're in, or it's not cheap, I agree, but still finding other uses for it could be a good thing.
Oh, absolutely. Alan was asking about I can't answer this. How is the FM broadcast reception with such an antenna?
Probably pretty good.
I mean, it sounds. I'm not the audio connoisseur.
No, he means if you hook up an FM antenna to it, or if you hook up a receiver to it.
Oh, I would. I did not, so I have no idea. But it's and the nice thing about this Clearstream, you can call them 800 number. I called that evening when I saw it. Somebody answered, obviously from home, and we talked for about 20 minutes, telling him what I have now, and he asked me for the zip code, and looked it up on a map, and told me that this channel will come good. He said, yeah, this channel you may have to tweak it a little bit in the direction, but I mean they're very helpful, and it's lifetime support like that. So if you Alan, if you or anybody else has any questions, you can call them, and the number is.
Put your camera on, Amnon.
What? Oh,
so you just got the camera shut on me.
Sorry.
I'm not even talking.
Yeah, you see, all I have to do is just push a button, and I don't even do that.
Yeah, you don't even do that. I mean, great.
But yeah, you can call them. The number is on their website or on Amazon, on any of the Clearstream ads or products. Great company. So I would call and ask them to get the answers right from the horse's mouth, Alan. What else is happening in the chat room that I missed? Oh, not much. All right. Let's see what else is going on. Oh, so now that Elon Musk put up all these, what do they call them? The internet service, Skylink?
Skylink, yeah.
Skylink. Last week, the FCC approved Amazon's plans for its ambitious Kuiper, Kuiper, constellation of 3,236 internet beaming satellites. We have now learned that Amazon will invest $10 billion into the space-based internet delivery system. The U.S. tech giant said on Thursday it is moving forward with its project Kuiper, one of several systems planned to bring internet to customers without land-based connections.
Pocket change, lunch money.
Yeah. Project Kuiper aims to deliver satellite-based broadband services in the United States and eventually around the world. So now we need 3,236 just for the U.S. Interesting. And may
don't
offer
get-
connectivity. What?
There's something I don't get
Yeah.
with the drive to go to satellite-based internet. Latency, right, has never been solved. There's no way of solving this physical problem.
Right.
So
How much does it cost to put one of those up in space?
forget that because the cost will probably be eventually beneficial in some way, and then you mitigate it. Don't dish an idea, right? Don't ditch an idea just because it's going to be costly to set up. Let's put it this way: just for you to have a free map on your phone, right?
Yeah.
There's a whole network of satellites that costs probably billions to put there, right? But the beneficiary of overall is immense. I'm not saying that there isn't any use for a network of satellites,
right?
But I'm trying to understand about satellite-based internet networking.
Think if you look back to when telecommunications made a leap forward back in the 90s by setting up, like you go into an impoverished country that has no infrastructure and put up a tower and suddenly everybody has telephone service.
Yeah.
It's the same target. I don't think we're the target.
That's
I don't think
okay.
Infrastructure is not places where there's already infrastructure, not the target. They're targeting places where there's no infrastructure.
Spence, there's a lot of places in the States that don't have.
Oh no, I understand, but
that's my point.
Globally, it's not
most Americans. Most Americans have a connection. If you live along an interstate, you've got broadband.
But you see, that was my point when I said, how much does it cost to put one of those in the air, in space? Why can't they just go
think about? They have 7 billion people.
It was a rhetorical question.
Yeah.
Go to an area and put a tower that will beam. What?
Yeah, but that's probably even more costly.
I don't know.
You got to run a high-speed connection to the tower,
and you do that with microwave or whatever.
Well, microwave for this type of bandwidth, it's up there, but it's not high enough. I can tell you, Alaska was served by microwave from the 1950s right up and still till today. But they've run hundreds of miles through places where there's nothing. They've run fiber, because fiber just delivers so much more bandwidth. The early internet services in Fairbanks was so bad you had to pay by the megabit, and it was very slow. Now they have internet fiber coming in, finally have unlimited services, finally have reasonable prices. But I think
they're going about it wrong. They just need to drill deep enough into a conductive layer and just use that layer.
And
well, didn't they have that HARP system? Did you ever read about that, Carl? Where the government was experimenting with this high altitude radio frequency stuff, and there was all kinds of conspiracy theories.
Yeah, they made weather. It was a weather machine.
They were trying to create weather. Well, now they've turned it over to the University of Alaska. The government abandoned it and gave it to the University of Alaska, and they're using it now. And they're saying, "No, we don't really think it was used for controlling weather. It might have been some other thing that they were doing.
They were trying to control. Yeah, they were trying to control people. It was
yes.
HARP. Go read about HARP. If you don't think that the government's doing crazy stuff, go look at HARP. Million watt.
Who said the government isn't doing crazy stuff?
Plenty of people. Oh no, the government doesn't do anything. Oh, I'm Mickey Mouse. Oh.
No, they're usually not successful with it. That's all. It's still a government finance project. It's still gonna be crap.
They spend all the upfront money to do the proof of concept, and everybody benefits from it, and then they perfect it and make it work.
Well, it seems like,
I don't think you understand. HARP is a deep state government project. They're using it they created coronavirus with HARP.
5G.
So I guess we'll have to see what.
Yeah, they're gonna have everybody walking around with little satellites on their head. to receive internet from Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates and the rest of Jeffrey Epstein and the rest of the pedophile armies.
You get your morning instructions, right?
You just can't handle it. You might as well. They said tinfoil hats. They're literally you're gonna be putting a satellite on your head.
All right.
Infowars.com.
Okay.
I apologize.
Next. Interesting. If you have, Unix in your office or whatever, a recently released Red Hat update for the boot hole vulnerability, firehose link, is causing systems to become unbootable. It is widely reported that updates to the shim, grub2, and kernel packages in RHEL and CentOS 7 and 8 are leaving various systems that use secure boot unbootable. Current recommendations are to avoid updating your system until the issue is solved, or at least avoid updating the shim and grub2 and kernel packages. And there was an update from the end of last week that says Red Hat is now recommended that users do not apply grub2, FWUPD, FW update, or shim updates until new packages are available.
FWU.
So, this is, and Red Hat is used mostly by companies, not by end users, because
Red Hat is
Unix.
an enterprise level distribution.
Yeah.
CentOS is their open source.
I thought Fedora was their open source. I thought
CentOS is the server and Fedora is the desktop, something like that.
Okay. So if you do have it and nobody knows about it, and you hear people saying, we're having a problem with the server, don't just look into it. Now, Nick,
Amnon.
gaming.
What about it?
Minecraft.
Great game.
So if you've ever wanted to build a real working Windows 95 PC inside Minecraft, now is the time.
Oh boy.
A new VM computers mod has been created for Minecraft that allows players to order computer parts from a satellite orbiting around a Minecraft world and build a computer that actually boots Windows 95 and a variety of other operating systems. The mod uses VirtualBox, free and open source virtual machine software, to run operating systems like Windows 95 within Minecraft. You simply place a PC case block and then use it to create virtual hard drives to install operating system from ISO files. What?
I'm pasting the link to the mod.
It says, naturally, the Minecraft community has been experimenting with the VM computers mod, and someone has managed to get Doom running within Minecraft as a result. A game. Isn't it? I mean, wow.
Well, it's a lot more elaborate than the game, but the fact that it allows it, it's amazing.
Yep.
Then you can play Minecraft within Minecraft.
How many iterations of it can you go? I could play
on
it
the host machine, the host that's hosting the VM.
Interesting.
It's
more like RDP than a VM, yeah?
I don't know.
Full security holes? What?
Yeah, but you can always,
around with
if there's a
virtual
hole,
machines again.
if there's a hole, all you have to do is get a brick and put it in there, right?
Alt F4 still closes the game itself and not the game within the computer. That's so funny.
Yeah. It's just amazing.
there's a screenshot there, and the guy put in parentheses, "I'm a legal owner of a copy of Windows 98 and Windows XP," so nobody would sue him. But this is awesome. This is a great idea.
It's you know, you try to wrap your head around it. And say, what? But
Well,
yeah,
it's all around experimenting and proof of concept, right? And I think that nature of Minecraft is what makes this game still very, very relevant.
yeah.
My
Hey, Nick.
kid
Oh,
started
go ahead.
playing Minecraft age 12.
Who did?
Uh,
Who start? You did?
Shy. He
Oh,
started
Shy.
playing Minecraft when he was 12.
Yeah.
And then it was like, the game that everybody was talking about. This was before Microsoft bought it, and he still goes back to Minecraft with his friends, right? He's now 19, and they still comes back every few months to see what's new, what's interesting. Maybe there's a new mod that they or a very old mod that has become very good, and they're deciding to test it. So the game itself is just a platform for tons of ideas, and the ideas, they never stop coming. So it's a very interesting thing, very interesting phenomenon.
Oh, I remember being on chats with Nick and Sean and some of the others years ago, and all they were doing is sitting there and building stuff and digging stuff. And I mean, I never got into it, but it was
Yeah,
amazing.
I'm no good at it either. I don't enjoy it, but seeing the 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 um, the pool, I understand why it's still something that people go to,
Yeah,
even
you get-
though it's now considered an old game, right? It has become a classic.
but it's still current, obviously.
Yeah, gets updated. There's
Yeah.
spin-off games. There are games that are associated with it. There are adventure games based on that Microsoft keeps on
Yeah.
finding ways of how to make money out of it. But it's
Yeah,
a
Microsoft
very,
always
very
tries to figure out
unique
how to make.
ecosystem.
Yeah, they always try how to make money out of something. So I'm going again. Nick,
What?
TikTok.
Oh yeah, Trump's gonna ban TikTok. Which brings up an interesting conversation on multiple fronts. The conservative-minded individual in me goes, I don't want government taking part in actions like this. But the tech guy in me,
What's the story? I'm clueless. Tell me what's the
So-
story.
so TikTok is owned by China. TikTok is a Chinese
Yes.
outlet.
It's owned by the
And-
Chinese military.
Yeah, and it is well known that China does not like, contrary to what the media says, that Russia is our biggest adversary. China hates us because we're a successful group of capitalists, and that doesn't fit their narrative. So there is this there's this fine line that needs to be dealt with. How much government intervention do we want in things like this? But also, how important is our privacy and security? And it just brings forward a very interesting conversation of who do we trust, and why do we trust certain things more than others? And it just brings
they've-
forward a very interesting conversation about third party apps that are owned by, as you said, Spence, the Chinese military, the communist Chinese government, collecting God knows what kind of data.
Mm-hmm.
And from a security standpoint, I think it makes a lot of sense to do that. Just
what brought this out in the first place was companies were using this internally or allowing employees to have it. And then they found out the security vulnerabilities and you're being monitored. I'm not sure if it says in the EULA or not what they're monitoring when you sign up for the app, but it's just, they created a really popular social media app for quick 30, is it 30 seconds maximum?
something like that. I don't know.
Something like
I've never used
some
it.
minimum on, there's some maximum on the size of the.
Yeah. It's like, it's
posts that
very
you can
similar
do.
to, it's what Vine was before
What
Twitter
Vine
decided
was,
to kill
that's
it.
right. But
Yeah.
it's just, it took off by storm, very popular, also very abused. But the point is that companies saw this, is that we can't allow this to have this on our employees' phones because it's an open door to eavesdrop on data on the phone, especially if it's a corporate phone. So they started banning it, and the government got involved and say, well, let's look at this. And they said, wait a second, this is basically a spy platform.
Yeah.
For eavesdropping on people's privacy. So they said, no, we can't afford it. It's just, they're doing it under the auspices of Homeland Security. They say we can't have this.
But would you agree, Spence? It brings forward an interesting conversation as a conservative-minded individual.
Is it more obtrusive than any other app on our phone, though?
No, probably not. But the difference between
Okay.
other apps on our phone and this is that as much as I may dislike Facebook or Twitter or Google, they're not the Chinese. Well, they might be, but they're not the Chinese communist government.
And
that's the big concern. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now
There's-
the latest about TikTok is Microsoft is trying to buy them.
Wants to buy them. Yeah, great.
Yeah, which Trump is not going to allow.
I
Yeah,
don't
but
know.
that's not going to change the fact that the company is based in China.
Oh,
Even
it
if
may.
Microsoft buys them, they're not going to move, right, the servers to the US. It's not going to change the infrastructure. It's
No.
I don't know. I mean, they may just close it, like they do with a lot of other.
They need
Oh,
to
they're-
ruin it.
you do not
But
close a
Amnon,
successful
they have to
outlet.
ruin-
Yes,
Right.
well,
Ruin
that's
it.
not true. Twitter did the same thing with Twitter. Did that with Vine.
They have to ruin it before they close it.
Yeah, Vine
Because
was
they
on
couldn't
top of the
they
world.
couldn't make it successful. There was no money in Vine, I think.
Oh, there was a lot of. Well, there's no money in TikTok either.
There could
But
be.
that's the
There's
thing.
potential. There is, but they're not doing it.
No, there's not. None of these apps. Again, none of these apps are for making profit. They're for stealing data.
Nowhere
That's what these are for.
in the history of the world has there been a business plan that says, well, maybe 20 years will be profitable, where they get these giant investments coming in from venture capital companies with the expectation that it's going to take forever to actually make money. And they can get a stock price to go up on a company that's never made a penny just
Yeah.
because they have lower losses than normal. Oh, stock goes up. So they're making the money off stock.
Huh?
Incredible.
It's an like you said, Nick, it's an interest. It brings an interesting discussion, especially if, like you
Well,
said,
it's
if the
just,
government
it goes back to, and then it also spawns a another conversation, which is if we, as a country, I'll say we as the United States, we as a country ban TikTok, right?
Then what?
Well, I would make the argument that, and I would still make this argument with or without the ban of TikTok, that we also need to look at these other, the big tech was in front of the Senate Intelligence Committee or Senate Judicial Committee this week, and I would make the same argument against them too. What are they doing with this data? And what kind of risk does it pose to you and me as citizens? Who are
Mhm.
they selling this data to?
And also, they've been caught in some blatant lies.
Oh, absolutely. Some
That-
treasonous
yeah.
lies, in
Yes.
my opinion.
And there was a nice article this week. I mean, we don't bring it in here, but that Google, Facebook, Twitter meddled a lot more in our elections than any other country. They really they tried to stir it one way or another, and nobody ever anybody ever talked bad about them.
Never.
Nick
Okay.
never said anything against it.
It bring
Well-
it. You're gonna see, God forbid, or Lord willing, Trump wins in November. I believe he is going to keep the crusade against big tech going, and I think it's a conversation that needs to be had. I mean, there has now been case after case after case of these services blatantly playing politics with social media under the auspices of, oh no, we're not an outlet that plays, we're not an outlet that censors content or vets content, when they in fact are, and it's been
Yep.
proven. And as you said, Spence,
I would
they're
really
now caught
like
in
to see.
lies.
I would really like to see the FCC and the Justice Department enforce the publisher provider,
They have to.
or update the Communications Act to make it so that they can be held responsible for manipulating content.
Yeah, and I tell you what, if Trump doesn't win in November, which of course there's a possibility that's the case, that will cease to exist, and
Oh,
that's
yeah.
gonna be a serious problem for, obviously as a conservative, it's a bigger deal than it is for other people. But I mean, these social media giants do not have your and my best interests in mind. Now, a lot of that's
I
our
agree
fault.
with you, but I don't think it's just like, it's not just the Republicans and conservatives that are concerned about this. Privacy
today
is
it
the thing
is.
that everybody's
Today-
concerned about.
No, today
Yeah.
it is, because they've been showing that they are all these social media outlets are skewed toward.
Way
But I
in-
remember
way in-
these. I remember
Yeah.
these discussions from the left, right?
Yeah.
While there was a liberal president in office.
Right.
It was never. These discussions started while Obama was in office.
To be fair,
Right?
these
Because that's when
services
the issue started
Yeah.
to simmer up. So it's not like, I don't think I don't think the discussion, and I'm talking about the discussion like in where it matters, not in just a chat room or a couple of friends talking about it. I'm saying the discussion in Congress and all that. The discussion is not going to go away just because the regime is replaced.
No. But
I don't think it'll go away, but it'll
change
the important
direction.
part to me, the important part to me will go away. I believe.
I mean, they're always trying to even, let's put it this way: when there is a Democrat in office and the Democrats are in power, then they do talk bad about them and stuff, but not the way that has been for the last 3.5 years. It's like they're
Because
gaining
you
more.
take out the politics out of it.
Yeah, they need to take
They're
the
not talking
politics.
about them as advocates in politics.
Right.
They're talking about it as policymakers needing to make right with the technology. I don't see a problem with that. That seems to be a much more productive discussion than anything else, right?
But the point,
Because when you're talking about making the policy right,
yeah,
then you're protecting everyone, not just those who are afraid they'll lose in the election.
and
That's
and
what I'm saying.
The bigger issue is enforcement. There's policies in place now that they could be enforcing that they're not enforcing. So
it's just that you cannot at this
I agree.
point. Gal, I understand what you're saying, but at this point, you really can't take the politics out of it, because they are injecting the politics into their service.
I'm not saying you need to take that out of the question. I'm not saying you need to stop discussing it, right? I'm saying that the discussion will not go away even if the politics change. That's what I'm saying.
True, but it's just be who yells the loudest because they feel they're being infringed on the most. So.
Well, I mean, time will tell. None of us has a crystal ball to see, but there are certain things that you can say, yeah, this is better if this was not done like that. And they have been, quote unquote, meddling in the elections in the upcoming elections also by trying to stir people in a certain directions, and that's not what they are there for. Therefore, to allow people to talk to each other.
If they were to come out and say, well, we decided we're really a publisher,
Then
then
they're
it
in
would
trouble.
change.
Yeah.
Then they would say, we're not a provider, but they're doing what a publisher does under the freedoms of being a provider.
Right.
So
eating the cake and having it
that's
too.
right.
Yeah.
And denying it all along when their own internal employee leaks come out saying that they're absolutely doing it.
Yeah.
And they've admitted this week during the Senate hearings that they do have ways to manually tweak these algorithms that make these decisions.
I did not watch any of that stuff, but Nick last night showed me something that was so profound and funny at the same time with Barr when he asked for a glass of, he wanted to have a little break so he can get some water, and Nadler, without thinking for a second, said, no.
We're going to be over this soon. What's wrong
Jeez.
with you? Yeah. Oh, I was amazed at how many the Democrat response online to this were some people, and other people were horrified by it, to say, why are they treating these people so bad? The whole surrender, the whole giving back their time thing was a ploy to prevent him from answering any question.
Yeah.
They'd ask him a question, say, all right, I surrender my time. So they would give him no time to answer any questions.
Yeah, it's so good not to have any of these channels anymore.
How does this man have the patience to sit there and let this happen?
Because
that's
he
what's so
is
amazing.
Because he is a good man, and he is
Absolutely
on the side
incredible.
of truth.
I would lose my mind and probably go over the counter to him.
It's not like he didn't know what he was facing when he get there.
I'm sure.
Anyway,
listen
to this.
It's a great meme somebody put together of he was at an event in New York City where it was honoring the police officers, and he plays the bagpipes. Barr.
Oh.
So they started playing. He started playing the bagpipes, and they were doing I forget what the name of the song was, but it's a popular song used for marches. And he's on the stage playing it. So they started showing footage from the hearings of all the Democrat people while he's playing the band. They keep cutting back to him playing the bagpipes. It was great. It was really good.
All right. So listen to this now. Let's go back to techies stuff. Qualcomm is giving its quick charge technology a sizable boost, one that the company claims will be able to plug in and get a device with a 4,500 milliamps, 4.5 amps battery from 0 to 50 in 5 minutes and from empty to 100 in 15 minutes. That is very nice. Don't need
Is
to
it
keep.
going to be like the Samsung device?
I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Good question, guys.
But that sounds like that's exciting news.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, right?
That
Tesla, they know how to supercharge their cars, right? In 20-25 minutes, right? And the capacity of those batteries
a lot more.
They're not 4.5 amps, right? So it's definitely possible, right? But it's all about heat management, I think, the most. But yeah, it is exciting thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I have the Dash charger for the OnePlus, the Chinese phone, and they charge like in 30 minutes from 0 to 85, something like that. So it's amazing, right? And shortening that would be fantastic.
Yeah, you just need to put it next to it. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. COVID. Google will keep its employees home until at least next July, making the search engine giant the first major U.S. corporation to formalize such an extended timetable in the face of the coronavirus pandemic. You were saying, Gal?
No, that sounds about right. That's
Well-
what I'm feeling as well from other tech companies that
Yeah.
we work with. And
Now, we talked about it months ago. What is this doing to the real estate market?
Crushing it. When all these loans start coming due from developments
Dang.
and they're not getting the rent or they're not renting buildings, they've been slashing prices in New York City already because of just people leaving, moving out, and companies not. What company is going to want to maintain a headquarters in New York?
Who
At
would
this
want
point.
to? Yeah.
Who would want to?
Right.
So it's like the idiot people that run these cities don't realize, well, what happened to our tax base?
Yeah. It's bad. It's going to get worse.
Yeah,
Like
there's
Trump
a-
said, it may get worse before it gets better. That's including that too.
but it took him a long time to get to say that.
Yeah. Well, he's there in order to keep us optimistic. I don't want to hear doom and gloom. But you
It's not
hear
about
it enough.
wanting to hear doom and gloom. It's about getting reports about reality.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
but you see, I can argue this. Nobody can give a report about reality. Nobody knows that it's going to get worse before it gets
Nobody
better.
knows where it's going,
Yeah.
right? But you need to be able to say, right? Or at least if you do not know where it's going,
Mhm.
don't be too daft and say everything's going great, right? Because that's even more, that's more harmful. False
don't know.
hope
We're just
is
gonna
a
have to
lot
w-
worse than keep steady and let's get through this.
Yeah,
right?
if you keep
Like-
it at that false hope for forever until you fall, but when you can
No, I don't think you
correct
should
it
start with it.
every day back and forth and ease it here and ease it there,
Come on,
I
it took
don't
him
see much.
6 months to start facing reality.
Well, maybe that's what it took the scientists. I mean, scientists always like gloom. Yeah, they'd rather err on the side of. I mean, it's easy to say it's going to get bad.
Everything the scientists
Is-
warned about
Yeah.
turned out to be worse.
Oh, that's fine. I
So-
understand. But that nobody knew that. That's just the way it happened. And that's great. Yeah, okay, well, we see it. We told you. Yeah, that's a Monday
It's not
morning.
about
but,
we told you.
But that's not even actually that's not true. The scientists said that 1.5 million people were going to die, and that's not been the
Yeah.
case at all. So, I mean, that's
It's you can argue
Gross.
it back
We're
and
still
forth.
not out of it.
unless
and we
a
still
million
haven't
people
finished this year.
unless 1 million people drop dead between now and the end of the year, which I doubt is going to be the case, then those predictions are going to be well off. So,
Did you guys
If we
see?
could get reliable reporting of numbers and the methodology used, that would help, because right now there's evidence coming in from states saying that the way they're counting anything is not accurate. Florida has reported that some places with doing testing have grouped people's samples together into the same bottle in
Yeah,
order to rush the
because-
testing through. How is that good? How is, we're so backlogged, so you put 3 in one bottle. So now if there's one positive, all 3 are positive. And plus the reports now of some places where 100% of the testing comes back positive.
It's
How can that be? We need a reliable way of reporting the statistics.
and it
not
will
one that's
and
like-
it will come. I mean, the only thing that we can really count on is how many people are in the hospital and how many people are dying, and really
Yes.
dying. Even the dying, it's not all of them are dying from that.
well,
So yeah, it's a whole different. No, let's stop talking about this. It doesn't matter. Not
I
here.
think just like Gal said, reliable information
Yeah,
is what will tell us the truth, and we can't.
well,
get
and the other
reliable
problem that you
information.
have is that there is reliable information, but the outlets that people look for news and information don't report it. The
No.
CDC has got a bunch of great information, but nobody reads what the CDC actually says. They watch what the news says, and that's the bigger problem. I mean, do you know what the CDC says? Have you read the CDC description of positive tests?
No.
I mean, if you look into what they deem a positive test, it's jaw dropping.
I mean, one
So-
thing blew my mind this week. Hannah makes masks. I mean, she's at home. She does her work, but she makes masks from denim or whatever. And I wear one of them. She was here last week, and she was saying that now the CDC is saying that you can make it from thinner material that will even pass some droplets out. That's what the CDC is saying. What
So
is
that
that?
blows up the whole argument they've had all along is gone.
You see, that's what I don't understand this. I mean, unless they are tweaking as they're getting more and more data. I don't know.
So
but the data
now Fauci says everybody needs to wear goggles.
Yeah. Right.
Through every flu season.
So we don't rub our eyes, right? Wear glasses.
For whatever reason. But can you imagine now? What's that going to be like?
Yeah, I know. So anyway, the bottom line here, what the story was that Google is going to keep their employees at home until next July.
I think it's good. It'll save them a whole hell of a lot of money.
Yeah, that's exactly what they would do it, and I'm sure a lot of other.
I'll tell you what, the real problem going to be here is the commercial real estate market is going to is going to crumble like a cheap $2 bill. I mean, it's gonna be bad.
There was already a bubble in the works anyway there, and this is just going to make it worse.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember? Do you remember when Yahoo when it was run by that? I forget what her name was.
Melissa Meyer.
Yeah, she was kind of a nut job, where she would have professional photo shoots of herself for publicity stuff. It was crazy. But the point was that they called everybody back who was working at home because they wanted to have everybody in the office. They said, no, you can't work at home. Literally said, you want to work for us, you got to work in the office. And how everybody was outraged by that whole thing. Oh, you're forcing people. And now it's like, no, you really don't need. It's not good for you socially. When I started working from home, I saw fewer and fewer people. That's why I love to go to trade shows, because I would actually see people. And your contact base goes down, and your well-being. You need to be around other people.
Yeah. Important.
But you do get more work done. If you're a dedicated worker, you do get more work done at home.
Because you're not.
I worked in an office. My productivity was much, much lower because people would stop by. How you doing? Want to have coffee? Let's go to lunch. Have a loud conversation in the next cube. Something would there would always be a distraction from doing the work that I did.
Yeah.
When I worked at home, I got a lot more done. But
all right, another shorty. Apple is being sued for allegedly refusing to help those who are falling victims to an iTunes gift card scam. This is coming from 9to5Mac. An 11-count class action suit has been filed against the company. Apple is accused of lying when it says that there is no way to trace or refund the value of the cards. So if you are a victim of any kind of iTunes gift cards, you probably will hear about this.
are they saying the cards are
personally
counterfeit?
know someone who was frauded $500.
Whoa.
Yeah, well, what did you ask, Spence?
I said, are they actually selling counterfeit cards or just selling?
I don't know.
I'll tell you.
Go ahead.
I'll tell you the chain on events, and it'll blow your mind. So it starts by an email that says something about your account and asking you to click a link. And as long as you do it on your iPhone, right, then everything seems to be exactly as it's supposed to. It takes you to a site where you put in the credentials, and allegedly it fails. And then it passes you to click a link to technical support. And then you're on the line with somebody who starts pulling your wing. And because you think you initiated this process, and it's all about. I think the original email was there was like a transaction for such and such amount, 350 something, can't be processed or something. Please contact support. That's how everything starts. And somehow, right, by just pulling and prodding, these are con artists, right?
Professionals.
They get you to, while you're on the phone with them, they get you to go to a Walmart, buy
a gift card.
a card at Walmart, right? And give them everything of the information. And this woman, she felt she's being tricked, right? But also not believing she's being tricked. She went through this 5 cards of $100 each, and thinking that now it's going to solve. And only at the end, right? Well, when she finally disconnected from all of this, right? She understood what she went through. And this is like a confidence scheme of enormous enormous proportion. And the fact that Apple isn't investigating where the money is going, right? These accounts that the money is going to, that I think is it is criminal.
I've heard of that same tactic being used to get payment, where they actually let people go to Walmart and pick out my brother-in-law was hit with the call from, we thought, I wasn't there when it happened, but he thought it was our nephew calling to say that he had been arrested and needed bail money. And they picked him. I mean, it's why they picked him. He said he was arrested here in Raleigh. I live here. They didn't call me. They called him, his uncle that lives in Atlanta. And he doesn't know him real well.
About this, yeah.
Yeah, and it was the same thing. You need to go to Walmart. You need to go down and get. I need to get the bail money right away. This is how we can do it. But the funny part about it was my brother-in-law was already thinking this isn't right. And when he called them back, the bail kept going down. The more resistance my brother-in-law gave him, the lower the bail got. So he knew
that was a giveaway. Yeah,
that was the giveaway. But yeah, they'll call a grandparent just, oh, this is, Sophie, your granddaughter. I'm in jail.
Mm-hmm.
So he called my sister up in Maine. She goes, no, Andrew's here. He's actually sitting in my house. He's not in jail. Very convincing.
Yeah, they are professionals.
I don't know my nephew's voice well enough that if he called me, I would be able to say that's not him. So.
All right, then here's something else. Owners of Samsung equipment. Since the middle of last month, thousands of Samsung customers found their older internet-connected Blu-ray players had stopped working. In the days that followed, complaints about devices caught in an endless startup boot loop began to appear on various internet discussion boards. And videos documenting the device failure appeared on YouTube.
Y2K.
To fix the issue, Samsung eventually advised customers to return their inoperable video players for repairs. There is no software fix. We are aware of the boot loop issue that appeared on certain 2015 Samsung Blu-ray players and are offering free mail-in repairs to customers who have been impacted. A representative of mega manufacturers said in a Samsung forum post. So remember, if you have a Blu-ray that's just been sitting there and you haven't used it in months or years, check it. It was speculated by netizens and some media reports that a HTTPS certificate error was to blame. However, it's been suggested to the register, the paper, that the cause of the failure was an XML file downloaded by the network connected devices from Samsung servers during periodic logging policy checks. This file, when fetched and saved to the device's flash storage and processed by the equipment, crashed the system software and forced a reboot. Upon reboot, the player parsed the XML file again from the flash storage, crashed and rebooted again, and so on and so on and so on. Crucially, the XML file would be parsed before the new one could be fetched from the internet. So once the bad configuration file was fetched and stored by these particular Samsung Blu-ray players in the field, they were bricked. So it's like, I want to upgrade my Windows 10, but when I boot, it just reboots and reboots. There's no way to get to a prompt that I can do an update. That's the same thing here. Only you can't do anything about it. They have to do it. So they're saying that it's a free. Eventually, advice cannot return. There is no software fix. We are aware, blah, 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 blah. Offering a free mail-in repairs to customers. I wonder if the shipping is free. Somebody that has one of those needs to try and do that if they have one of those bad drives. I would think that if you didn't use it in months or years, that it did not actually get that bad file. And they did not.
If it's connected to the internet, it's randomly gonna check in.
Oh, okay.
As long as it's plugged in and on the internet, I would presume it's checking itself.
Yeah,
I would hope, at least.
Yeah. All right. Anything else, guys?
No, sir.
Where's the closest Dunkin Donuts?
There's one not far from here. There's one.
Where's the
4 minutes from
closest
here.
between us four that we can meet at? So about halfway down to Wilmington, we can go.
Oh, there's probably one in like Warsaw or something like that.
Yeah, well,
no,
probably.
probably Clinton. Let's see.
Yeah.
Let's do a quick search.
Burgaw, maybe.
Nah,
Dunkin'
Burgaw's a little
Donuts?
too far
A little
south.
closer. Yeah.
Or a Goya food outlet.
Need to stock up on garbanzo beans.
Wow. There is no.
What?
There are no Dunkin'. Oh, okay. There's a Dunkin'. The closest Dunkin' is going to be on. It's going to be in Rose Hill.
On Zoom.
No, it's going to be on Highway 17, right off 40, just south of Warsaw.
All right. So what? An hour and a half?
Let's see. I could be there in 43 minutes. I'll put the address in chat. Put the
I'm
address.
walking
and see
though.
how
I need
long.
more time.
Put
Jim,
that
have
address
you
in and see how
heard
far it is
about-
from you, Spence.
Have you heard about there's a company that is creating 3D printed
Yeah.
vegetable-based meat.
Yes, I saw the picture of it. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
amazing.
I mean, I saw something. I saw something. That's what I thought you were going to talk about, Gal. But I saw something that Hannah is into. That a company is 3D printing human organs to test vaccines or
Oh,
medication for
Sounds
the
cool.
for COVID. Yeah, unbelievable.
And where did they get the component parts to make human organs from?
I guess they get
You go to Staples and you order the
no.
red spool.
What do
and
you
the
call
blue
it?
spool.
What do you call those cells?
One is DNA and the other one is organic matter.
Stem cells?
Stem cells. So that's very, very interesting. But yeah,
there is
for
a concept of stem cells and something called IPS. Are like
IPS
enhanced
panels?
cells. Like they're not exactly stem cells, but yeah. I've been reading comics by Greg Rucka.
This is what they want you to think.
If you've seen Netflix just had a new movie, The Old Guard, which is very successful right now. He's the comic author behind it, and so I've been looking at his work. And there's another comic dealing with like these superhumans, enhanced humans, and stuff. And he wrote it after reading some research. A friend of his, a tech guy in the world of biotech, uh, sent him to read about stem cells and IPS. Very interesting concept.
I have a friend who's alive only because they could harvest his own stem cells. He had a rare blood cancer, and the only cure they had, he was on chemotherapy for a while, didn't really work, was to go in, harvest his stem cells, and they count them. They were able to actually get a count of your own and grow them and continue to grow them in an environment. And then came in and they used chemotherapy to basically destroy everything in his blood. Red, white, everything. And then they gave him an infusion of his own stem cells, and then had to stay in a sterile environment for like a month, and then gradually work his way back. It's not a cure. It will extend his life potentially 6 to 8 years.
So it's like a maintenance cycle.
But they
Still amazing.
They had to basically kill off everything, including
the good stuff,
the cancer.
Yeah,
so including the good stuff. Yeah,
and then inject the stem cells to.
But it was his own stem cells. They're able to harvest your own.
Yeah,
which is incredible. So there was no matching to be done because it was his own stem cells.
I thought there's no matching to be done when you get it from like a baby.
Family member?
An aborted
an umbilical cord.
Yeah.
And
but that needs to happen on birth, right?
Yeah.
Because
most of us didn't have that.
They haven't been programmed yet.
Hey, Nick.
And it's probably not common practice yet, right? Collecting that at birth and storing it, that will require infrastructure like a blood bank, right? Something like that.
And an environment to keep it safe. Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
Nick, do you see
wonder if insurance companies will build some infrastructure like that?
Chat from what?
From Gene?
Board up your place. Oh, I mean, I'm not going to board it up for rain.
So is it going to give us a report? Is it going to stay a tropical storm?
Yeah, probably. We just got a tropical storm. We just got put under a tropical storm warning here. So yeah, it won't be that bad. No, I'm not boarding anything up. It shouldn't be that bad.
Nice. That's good stuff.
Yeah, if it was going to be any stronger, I would board up. Yeah. I mean, flooding is flooding, but you're not going to stop water from rushing. So I'm not. Right. I mean, what are you going to do?
Yep.
But I do have my generator, so I'm ready to go.
Yep. All right. Anything else? Going once? Nope. Going twice? All right.
I'm going to be picking you guys up, go down to Walmart, get some gift cards.
Okay. Make sure you get one of them guys in India first.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Nick. Thanks, Gal. Thanks, Spence. It was a lot of fun. And good morning, Kathy, Hannah, Nabil, Mac, Norm, Katie and Dina, Arlette. Thanks, everybody, for tuning to Computers 2K Now. We hope you enjoyed and maybe learned something from our time together. Remember to practice safe computing, back up your hard drive, and update your virus scanner. We'll be back here next Sunday at 9, but you can always reach us at computers2know.com. And tonight at 7, you can listen to Nick and his show Against the Norm at atnshow.com. And if you're in Wilmington, you can listen to it on FM 106.7, The Big Talker. We'll see you next week.
You are tuned to the Nissan Communications Network. If you tuned in too late, you can always watch each program in its entirety or download an MP3 audio file of it in the archives section at nissancommunications.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, and like us on Facebook. Sponsored by Telestream's Wirecast software, StreamingGear.com, Carolina Apparel, and DeltaForce.net.